So thank you everybody for joining us and joining me today for the first webinar series that Caldo is putting on research themes for their member universities. My name is Calvin Lack, and I work as the Graduate Recruitment Coordinator at the University of Calgary. So today we're going to focus on the University of Calgary research only. At the University of Calgary, we understand that the problems and issues facing the world today cannot be solved by one faculty or program alone, and that is why we take a very multidisciplinary approach to our research, and you'll see that highlighted in the webinar today. As you can see from that picture, our three research priorities are matching our strengths with our opportunities. Oh, someone's clicking through. So you can see matching our strengths with our opportunities, increasing our research capacity, and driving innovation combined with commitment to nurturing campus culture, which will propel our university forward in our quest to achieve our refreshed iHigh strategy for 2017 to 2022. We will demonstrate through discovery, creativity, and innovation the impact a research-intensive university can have on societal goals and aspirations, and we will create a student experience that will produce the next generation of leaders. So before we begin, I'll talk a little bit about Calgary and the university for those who are not familiar with Calgary or the University of Calgary. So Calgary is located in the province of Alberta. We are not the capital city, but we are the largest city in this province. We have over 1.2 million people living in our city. We foster a sense of belonging. We're a very young and motivated and innovative city. We're very safe, clean, and very friendly. And most recently, we were ranked the 4th most livable city in the world by The Economist. So when they ranked it, they ranked Vienna as number 1, Melbourne as number 2, Osaka, Japan as number 3, and Calgary as number 4. So another way to look at it is Calgary is the number 1 most livable city in North America, which is a huge thing when you think about all the great cities available in North America. Not only is it a great place to live, but it's also a great place to study. So the University of Calgary, we're one of the top 200 universities in the world. We're the top 200 most global-oriented universities in the world. We're a member of Canada's U15 research-intensive universities. We have over 30,000 students in 250-plus programs. About 6,000 of those students are graduate students, and about 25% of the 6,000 graduate students are international. We have 5 campuses, 14 faculties, and we have about $420 million in sponsored research funding, with over 180,000 alumni in 150 countries around the world. The University of Calgary is a comprehensive academic and research institution with a mission to discover new knowledge and translate our discoveries into applications that can provide benefits to our local, national, and international communities. To achieve this goal, we designed our research plan to focus on 3 major priorities: matching strengths with opportunities, increasing research capacity, and driving innovation. This has led us to identify our 6 strategic research themes, which are innovation, energy innovations for today and tomorrow, infections, inflammation, and chronic diseases, human dynamics in a changing world, engineering solutions for health, new Earth space technologies, brain and mental health. Let's take a look at these individually. Starting with energy innovations for today and tomorrow. So energy fuels all human activity, including the production, the distribution, the use of food, goods, and services. As a global society, we must find solutions that allows us to solve the growing disparity between energy supply and demand, provide safe and reliable energy sources to meet demand while promoting responsible stewardship of resources, improve the quality of life and create prosperity for a growing population while protecting the environment and people from harm. These critical challenges require the development of solutions that meet technical, societal, and environmental criteria. The University of Calgary will deliver the research to deploy these solutions. We'll focus our areas on unconventional hydrocarbon resources, hydraulic fracturing toward low carbon energy, and cumulative effects of energy-related process. So within this Energy Innovations for Today and Tomorrow research group, we have over 270 scholars working and conducting energy research that train more than 550 graduate students and 40 postdoc fellows, as well as some selected undergraduate students. We have invested in and raised funds for the creation of new research centers, development of infrastructure and space related to energy research, and the attraction of the best minds in the energy field. You can see some of the different faculties that are working within this research theme. As the energy capital of Canada, the University of Calgary is at the forefront of energy research. Our next research theme is infections, inflammation, and chronic diseases. So infections, inflammation, and chronic diseases, they create a tremendous burden on human health. The World Health Organization ranks chronic diseases, which account for 68% of deaths worldwide, as the greatest challenge to human health, and their impact will continue to increase in parallel with the aging of the global population. Through cutting-edge research programs and core facilities led by top scientists, the strategic research theme, the information, infectious, and chronic diseases in the changing environment will drive global initiatives tackling some of the most important challenges for our health and our economy. Their focus areas are adapting to changing environment, produce a safe, healthy food in a changing world, building and balancing microbial biofilms, developing immunotherapies, novel approaches to treating chronic diseases, and managing the growing economic burden of a chronic disease. To address major health issues due to chronic diseases, world health in the 21st century, we will be dependent on discovering-based fundamental research with transformative translation and innovation in areas of host, microbial interactions, infectious and chronic diseases, improved immunotherapies and biological for infections, inflammation, and chronic diseases, understanding and optimizing microbiomes in humans, animals, and plants, managing the threat of chronic diseases posed for the sustainability of health system and an economy. So we have over 225 scholars in various faculties working on these issues. And the focus of the research under the grand challenges is to connect our communities with scholars, government, and industry to better enable translation of research that is relevant to our communities. This team has developed 4 research directives to support our scholars as they develop and implement research with maximal impact. They want to identify and understand our local, national, and international community challenges. They want to use our natural resources and agricultural sectors to promote health and combat diseases. They want to create innovative ideas through academic industry collaborations and partnerships, and to enable clinical translation in changing physical, social, and economic environment. Our next research theme is human dynamics in a changing world. So the pressures of a rapid growing global population are driving unprecedented changes in our social, political, and cultural and natural systems. The University of Calgary's Human Dynamics in a Changing World strategy is addressing our need to understand how we adapt to rapid change to ensure security and quality of life. And their focus areas are social and physical infrastructure of smart cities, ensuring national, regional, and civic security while protecting individual human rights, maintaining cybersecurity for national and individual security, building a vibrant society through respectful and fruitful human interaction. So this human dynamics research strategy is organized around like three sub themes: smart cities, secure society, and cultural understanding. So we're drawing on our extensive research capacity in these areas. Researchers from various disciplines will join together to deliver solutions to these challenges associated with these sub-themes. For example, in smart cities, they focus on human interaction in urban environments with special focus on Calgary. This includes the planning and design of buildings, urban spaces, community, transportation service infrastructure for health and resilience. Critical issues in the production of smart cities include design for sustainability, urban governance, social cohesion, and expanded opportunities for creative inquiry, exchange, and collaboration. For secure societies, they examine how individuals and collective needs can be met in sustainable, equitable fashion and analyze how the associated changes and struggles have manifested themselves across human history and human society. This includes national security, cybersecurity, and how we respond to threats to our institutions and infrastructures, while at the same time protecting the human right to security from unwanted or unwarranted government and corporate intrusions. And their other sub-theme is cultural understanding, which focuses on the interactions of people from diverse backgrounds, traces the roots of different cultures, languages, religions, and cultural interactions in the past, and addresses the current challenges of integrating diverse individuals and groups into well-functioning society that respects cultural diversity while encouraging a shared national identity. Within this research group and theme, we have over 300 scholars working in this area from a variety of different faculties, from arts to engineering, all the way to vet medicine. So it's a very, very interdisciplinary research group. Our next research theme is on engineering solutions for health, biomedical engineering. For a decade, one of the research strengths at the University of Calgary has been in the field of biomedical engineering in areas of neurosurgery, joint repair, and stem cell production. The university has positioned itself as a global leader. Launched in March 2015, a new forward-thinking plan channeling cross-faculty research in engineering, medicine, kinesiology, veterinary medicine, science, and nursing provides a carefully considered strategy to help the university address complex global healthcare research challenges and opens the door for even broader collaboration. The Engineering Solutions for Health, the Biomedical Engineering Research Strategy, identifies 4 priority research themes that direct our research efforts to address complex global health and wellness research challenges. These focal areas are integrated approaches to enable prevention of injury and disease and to support healthy aging, technologies for improved diagnostics, engineering novel therapeutics, optimized healthcare system performance. Within the Engineering Solutions for Health research capacity, we have over 230 scholars working in this area, with faculty members from kinesiology, vet med, science, engineering, nursing, medicine. A little bit about the kinesiology program. It has been ranked #1 for sports science school in North America and #7 globally based on 2018 Shanghai rankings. Within this group, there's a very famous institute called the Human Performance Laboratory. It's one of the largest and best equipped research centers in the world, concentrating on mobility and longevity. And the goal of the Human Performance Lab is to understand the basics of human mobility and share this knowledge with others so they can be active throughout their lives. And another thing that we're very proud of is the Mobility and Joint Health Research Center, or MOJO, which opened in September of 2016. You can see some of the stats associated with this institution. It has 50 plus scholars, 150 students working in this area with focus on biomarker analysis, motion analysis, imaging, and they look at prevention, early diagnosis, novel treatments. So it's a very, very cutting edge institution. Okay. So the biomedical engineering focus area represents a cluster of interdisciplinary teams working together to solve challenges and relevant health and wellness problems that contribute to the engineering solutions for health, biomedical engineering area. The researchers are currently working on human mobility, advanced biomedical imaging, regenerative medicine, health monitoring and management, precision biodiagnostics, and novel medical technologies. For example, if you can imagine, imagine Brenda, who is a 32-year-old and has been burnt in a house fire. She may not have full recovery with current treatments and may suffer secondary effects like scarring from the burns that further reduces her quality of life. But our stem cell bioengineering and biomaterials developments can help Brenda with new skin treatments based on her own cells that, by more completely regenerating all her skin layers, can improve overall skin function and her quality of life. A team of bioengineering, cell biologists, nurses, surgeons, and rehabilitation providers are working with patients like Brenda to develop solutions integrating end user input. So these are some of the cutting edge technology resources that are happening at the University of Calgary within this research theme. So our next research theme is new space technology. New space technologies are capturing, analyzing, and visualizing our Earth space environment through unprecedented advances in sensors, platforms, and systems. We are on the cusp of technological revolution in our ability to sense and monitor our natural environment and built world, with widespread applications for humanity. From the oldest science like astronomy to the latest evolution of geomatics, the University of Calgary researchers on the new Earth Space Technology Research Strategy team are providing information that is consistently changing how we make decisions about our world. And their focus areas are environmental monitoring, geospatial connections, understanding the influence of Arctic change, benefits of space for society, and exploring the universe. Within this research theme, we have over 100 scholars from engineering, medicine, arts, science, and other areas working together. The University of Calgary is home to the national and international leaders in space science, geomatics, communication, and satellite systems. Our researchers have been involved in more than 20 space missions, and you can see some of the missions that they participated in throughout the years. So it's a very, very cool, very unique area of research for students in this area. Our next research theme and our final research theme is brain and mental health. So brain disorders are an increasing public health concern, surpassing both cardiovascular disease and cancer with respect to global burden of diseases. These disorders have familiar names including depression, multiple sclerosis, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, and many more. They have a devastating impact not only to those affected, but also on families, the community, and the healthcare system. The Brain and Mental Health Research Strategy provides a unifying direction for brain and mental health research at the University of Calgary. This exciting strategy, led by the Hotchkiss Brain Institute, positions the University of Calgary researchers to unlock new discoveries and treatments for brain and in our community by working in interdisciplinary teams. They focus their areas on brain and behavior, neural injury and repair, healthy brain aging, and neural technologies. So a little bit about the Hotchkiss Brain Institute. It's an internationally recognized center of excellence in brain and mental health research and education, operating within our Cummings School of Medicine, and is fully engaged with the city of Calgary. At the Hotchkiss Brain Institute, over 750 scientists, clinical scientists, trainees, research, and professional staff work together to achieve the Institute's mission to inspire discovery and apply knowledge towards innovative solutions for neurological and mental health disorders. Within the brain and mental health research capacity, we have over 330 scholars working in this area. And you can see the variety of faculties working in the brain and mental health capacity. A very, very interdisciplinary approach. So something that's very, very cool that's coming out of this research is the Integrated Concussion Research Program that focuses on prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of concussions. As we know, concussions are causing more harm to Canadians than ever before. Every 2 minutes, someone in Canada experiences a concussion, and 10 to 15% of concussion patients are symptomatic 3 months after injury. 10 years old, the average age for the first concussion. So there's a lot of great research, diagnosis, and treatment for concussions, and a lot of money has been put into this research program. So those are the 6 themes that guide our journey to discovery and that will help the University of Calgary become one of Canada's top 5 research institutes by 2022. We would love for you to be a part of the University of Calgary and take part in the cutting edge research and work with some of our world-renowned researchers that are changing the world and sharing that knowledge. U Calgary Grad Studies, there's a lot of videos highlighting our students and their research. Explains a lot of what's going on and some of the great stuff that's happening at the University of Calgary. So again, thank you for your time and joining us today. If you have any questions, can you guys hear me? Oh no, the audio stopped working for some reason. Okay, I'm not sure if the audio is working or not. I don't know why it stopped working. Some comments in the chat box saying it stopped, but it looks like it might be working now. So if it's working, please let me know so that we can start answering some questions. Okay, so it looks like the audio is fine now. That's great. So again, if you're looking for any specific program information, the best place to go is our future website, and click on the program that you're interested in. It'll list the admission requirements, the deadlines. It'll tell you about the cost, and it'll also list professors who are seeking students. So something that's very unique to the University of Calgary's website is once you click on one of the programs that you're interested in, it's going to list professors who are looking for students, what their area of research is, and a contact form. So we've made it easier for students who don't know how to contact supervisors or don't know who's accepted students by clicking on the program and looking at who is accepting students. Okay. So the questions are coming in very fast, so I'll try to answer as many as I can now. So I'm gonna say if you have any questions about a specific program, the best place to go is to the link that's listed on the screen there, as you'll be able to find the admission requirements, the cost, the deadlines, professors who are working in that area. So that would be the best place to go for now. Or you can check out the Caldo video on the University of Calgary as we go through some of that in the previous presentation. Someone asked about scholarships. If you're coming from Latin America, for example, from Mexico, we encourage students to apply for CONACYT funding, as a lot of our professors are seeking students with CONACYT funding. But our programs also offer guaranteed funding to students, meaning if you are accepted into the program, you're provided funding by either the program or supervisor. It's a very competitive process. That is why we encourage students to apply for funding from their home government. So someone asked, if the deadline just passed, is there any chance to submit an application for this year for September 1st? It depends on the program. Each program sets out their own admission guidelines and policies, and depending on the capacity of the program, they may not be able to accommodate late applications. If you have any questions, you can send an email to future.grad@ucalgary, and I can inquire if they would accept late applications for you. So someone asked, can I send the email in Spanish or in English? It would best to send it in English, as when you do a graduate degree in Calgary or in Canada, it will be done in English. So it's best to send your inquiry in English if you can. Someone asked, which are the main deadlines for September 2019? Again, it's each program is different. Some programs have already passed, while others might have a March 15th deadline. Some might have a March 1st. The best thing to do is check the future students' website on the link that's listed on this page to see what the individual program's deadline is. Again, each program sets out their own deadlines and admission criteria. Some programs would only admit in September, so if you miss this deadline, you might have to apply for next year in 2020, while others might have a January 2020 admission. And that can all be viewed by clicking on the program that you're interested in the future student website. Someone asks, a good question here, the list of professors seeking students is updated. we asked the professors to update this. So if you contact the professor and you're not getting a response, please send us an email at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, and we can try to follow up with the program. But give the professor maybe a week or so to respond, as they are very busy. And if you want some tips on how to contact supervisors, you can check out the other webinar that we did for Caldo on their website that gives you tips on that. And someone asked a good question. How do I know what supervisors are accepting CONACYT awarders? If you are applying for CONACYT or any scholarship from your home government, please send me an email at future.grad@ucalgary.ca and let me know that you'll be applying for CONACYT or CAPIS or CMPQ, and I can work with you and the supervisor here to try to connect you guys to see if they would be able to accept you into their research group. So if you're coming with your own funding, or if you're thinking of applying for your funding through your home government, send me an email, as my job is to help connect students with funding with our professors here. So I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. Another question, do you offer some scholarship? We do. Again, it's very competitive. So if you're admitted into a program and you're not applying for CONACYT or other funding from your home government, then the program will provide funding for you. But it's very competitive. As an international student, there are many different awards that you can apply for as soon as you get a student ID number. And the values of the awards vary from $1,000 up to $30,000 to $50,000 a year. And also, as a international student, you're able to work off campus for up to 20 hours a week as well, to help pay for some of the living costs if you're interested in that. So someone asked, is there funding available for chemical engineering? Yes, as I said before, all the programs will provide funding to students that they admit, but again, it's a very competitive process. The amount of funding that is given to students is enough to cover their tuition, but is not enough to cover all their living expenses. So a lot of students would apply for additional awards offered through the Graduate Awards Office, or they might even come with savings or work while they're a student. Someone asked, is there a master's in food quality and nutrition? Unfortunately, we don't offer that in our university. So someone asked a good question. How do I know if a professor would accept me? So it depends on how you contact the professor. So you have to keep in mind that a lot of these professors would receive a lot of emails every day from students who want to be a part of their group. So you have to look at ways of how do you differentiate yourself? How can you make yourself stand out? A good way is to read up on the professor, read some of their journal articles, read some of their publications, and try to mention that when you write to them and when you connect with them. Say how excited you are about their research, how you read some of their publications and this, and how that's sort of influenced what you want to do in your grad program. And by making it more personal and showing that you've actually read some of their work, will get you a better response rate than being very general. Someone asks a good question. Do I need to have a thesis idea to contact the supervisor? For master's student, not necessarily. For a PhD, you should have an idea of what you want to work on. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Someone asked a good question. Are there any special exams to apply for? No. Some programs might require a GRE, but I think it's only psychology, maybe in computer science, and maybe in management will require a GRE. Other than that, there are no special exams to apply for. If you're looking for what the admission requirements are and what documents you need to provide, you can click on the future students website, click on the program that you're interested in. It'll tell you what you need to submit along with your application. Someone asked, are there master's program related to civil engineering? Yes, we have a master's program in civil engineering. If you click on the website, look at civil engineering, you'll be able to see the specializations within civil engineering, what kind of research the professors are working on, and the jobs and next steps that students have when they graduate from civil engineering. A good question. I would like to improve my English. Is it possible? We do have an international foundations program at the University of Calgary that allows students to improve their English and meet the English requirements before applying into your graduate program. That is possible. We encourage students to talk to the program that they're interested in applying to before undertaking the International Foundations program. Someone asks, what is the minimum work experience for the MBA? It's if you're applying to a course-based MBA program, they require students to have 2 years work experience. So a good question. When I enroll for master's or PhD, do I need to already have the TOEFL or can I do it later? It would be best if you can have your TOEFL score in before the application deadline. If for some reason your TOEFL test date is after the application deadline, you will need to contact the program and let them know when your TOEFL exam is. Normally, if it's 1 or 2 weeks after the application deadline, then they're generally okay with it. But if it's 2-3 months out, then they might ask you to apply for a future term. Okay. One second. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Someone asked, can you give me information about taxation of Canadian oil and gas company programs? I don't know what PDS 227 is. I'm sorry. If you send me an email at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, maybe we can have a little discussion about what that is, and I can point you to the right person. Okay. Good question. Will the supervisor guide me to select a research topic? This is a very good question. So some programs, you're especially for the masters at the master's level, you'll be working with your supervisor on a research topic. They might have a research project that they'll like you to work on. So yes, they will guide you to select a research topic. For the PhD level, sometimes they want you to come in with what you want to do in your PhD, and they'll help you with that. Another student asked, I didn't see mining in your programs. Yeah, unfortunately at the University of Calgary, we don't offer any programs in mining. Other Caldwell member university does offer that. I just don't know which ones offhand that offer mining. Someone asked, is there any work experience for the MPP, which is the Masters of Public Policy? This is a professional degree and one that is very competitive, and one that has a very high fee structure compared to other programs. Do they require a work experience? Let me just double check here. No, they don't. They don't require you to have any work experience. They require a personal statement, a current resume, transcripts, but they don't require a work experience. So someone asked a good question here. Is it possible for me to apply for a master's program if I already have a master's? Yes, that's fine. We don't have a problem with that. When you apply for a master's program, we would base your admission on your bachelor's degree. So we would look at what you did in your bachelor's degree to base your admission into a master's program here. So someone asks, is there a master's degree in plant science? We don't have a specific master's degree in plant science, but we do have a master's degree in biological sciences with many researchers working in plant science research. So I encourage you to take a look at our biological sciences graduate program, and you'll see a list of professors, and some of them are working in this area. A very good question from someone here to say, would it be complicated to adapt to Calgary's weather for a kid? I'm from Mexico and my child is 4 years old. So Calgary and Canada, is cold, but Calgary is near the mountains, so we do have the warm Chinook winds that come in through the winter time. It's not as cold as other prairie provinces. It doesn't take long for students to adapt to the cold weather. I think if you dress warmly for it, you'll probably get used to it within the first winter. And a lot of students who come to Calgary from areas that are a bit warmer, they love being in the cold. They love seeing snow. They love going snowboarding. They love going skiing. They love making snowmen. They love going sledding, tobogganing. So when you come with your child, they're going to have such a wonderful time in the winter. It's such a great time of year. And in the university, the buildings are connected. So if the days that are very cold, you never have to walk outside. So someone asked, do I need to have research experience to be accepted for MSc? That's a very good question. Most programs don't. If you do have a research experience, you can highlight that in your application. It does help. But for students coming into a master's, no, that's not usually a requirement. But it does help your application. So, okay, if you're interested in any of the research themes that I talked about today, someone asked about the Mojo program, send me an email at at future.grad@ucalgary.ca, and I'll connect you with the program and the right person. Okay. A good question that came in, is there a requirement for a written essay? Very good question. Some of the social sciences, maybe some of the arts, the architecture program sometimes might require a written essay. They might require samples of your work, but most of the engineering, the medical programs don't require a written essay. They might require you to have a research proposal. This is just outlining what is it about this program that interests you, what is it about the university, what is it that you want to do in your research. So if you can highlight some of your background, highlight some of the things that are happening within that program, and really show that you've spent time researching the program, researching their degree. If there's a professor that you're really interested in, highlight that in your research proposal. This shows the program that you're really vested in the University of Calgary, and you're not just sending one general research proposal to every university. So someone asked, what could be a topic for a written essay? Good question. You would have to check the program to see what they require. For example, if you're going into communications and media study, they might require a sample of your written work. That could be a publication that you've done, an article that you have written, maybe a bit of parts of your thesis that you've done. So it really depends on the program and what they're asking for. So TOEFL exam, good question. So each program has their own admission requirement and standard. So each program sets out their own TOEFL requirement. So it's best to click on the future student website that's listed on this page here to see what their requirements are. The medical programs have a higher TOEFL exam. Well, I think if you're interested in engineering, for example, let's just double check here. Just give me 1 second. So most engineering programs require students to have a TOEFL score of 86 with no section less than 20 on the internet-based or 560 on the paper-based. Okay. Again, a lot of these admission questions can be viewed at our other Caldo presentation that we did back in November, and it's on their Caldo YouTube channel. So I would encourage you to take a look at that as well, as it answers a lot of questions on admission requirements, the TOEFL, the IELTS, tips for submitting an application, some scholarships as well. So a lot of valuable information if you're looking to apply to the University of Calgary. Oh, so a question just asked, do we have a Master's of Science in business? We do. We have a thesis-based program in our management graduate program. It's a thesis-based MBA, and you can find out more information if you go on to ucalgary.ca future students and click on management, the thesis-based. So if you guys have any other questions, you can email me at future.grad@ucalgary.ca. If you have any questions about the process to apply, the research themes that we spoke about today, scholarships, if you're applying for a scholarship back home and you're looking at connecting with a professor here, let me know, and we can work with you and help you sort of connect with professors. So thank you, everybody, for your time. It was a pleasure speaking and answering your questions today. I think that Caldo and their member universities will be in Mexico later on this year, probably in the end of April, early May. Keep an eye out on Caldo's website for information on when we come visit you. And I'd love to meet you in person and explain a little bit more about the University of Calgary. Thank you guys for your time.